Obviously, a great team win for us tonight against a very, very good team. We played great. All right, we played exceptionally well in basically every facet of the game. But it starts with the intensity that we played with, the energy we played with, our guys, understanding and these are tough games to play because you're playing against a really good team that's well coached, has dynamic offensive ability, and can really turn you over on defense. So you had to be disciplined in everything that we did, and I thought to play as hard as we did, but as disciplined as we did, was really encouraging for me as a coach. And we needed everybody. Obviously, we're down a couple guys with Boggs and McCreary out. Guys stepped up and just played South Florida basketball, where we play hard, we compete, we battle, we get on the floor, we rebound, we defend, and then offensively, we did a much better job. Our pace the last 2 games has been much better, and gives us some more opportunities offensively. So I always say this, I told the team for the last 3 days, I've been very fortunate in this profession to take part in some tremendous rivalry games, from an assistant coach, Michigan State, Michigan games, as a head coach, Dayton, Xavier games, Georgia Tech, Georgia games, and this rates up there with them because there is a passion on both sides, which is great. And so one thing I don't shy away from is I want this game to mean a tidbit more. And I think our guys have, and I said, you got to show that. Like when those people leave this arena, they got to say that team spills it on the court every play, win or lose. And that's we're not there yet all the time. That's what our program's all about, and so we need to keep building it. But you saw the longest stretch of that, this year or in this game. So. Just proud of our guys because they responded. They believed they could do it, and they went out there and got it done.
Coach, this was a dominating performance by your team. It seemed to be keyed by the defense. I don't think UCF had a single player scoring double figures. Could you talk about the defense, particularly Javon Green, the defense on Darren Green, who's like an all-league shooter?
No, he's an all-league player. He's really good. He's really good, as is Darius Perry, as is Brandon Mahan. They're good. They're really good. We have not, outside of the Tulane game, we fouled too much in the Tulane game. We have not played as good a defense in our 3 league games. We've also played on the road 2 of them and against a top 10 team in the country, so there's something to be said about that. But we guarded the ball better today. We scrapped and clawed better today defensively. You know what I mean? We were active. We chased guys off of screens. We pinched passes. We were at the level of screens. We had less undisciplined plays defensively. And that's not a negative when we make an undisciplined play. Sometimes you do that just by playing hard and maybe losing a little focus. But we were dialed in every aspect of our defensive coverages today. We challenged Javon, and because we know, and we challenge Chap, and we challenge Murphy. Those 3 guys that they're guarding are high-level dudes, man. They can play, and they can win games, and they've proven it. They can win games single-handedly. So you can't lose focus on any one of those 3 one play, because once they make one, then it starts, that basket starts looking like that for them. So you got to be really dialed in, and I thought our guys were, in particular Javon,
How big was Byron coming in when Russ had the 2 fouls and you were down 2 front court players?
Yeah, it was huge, because here's a guy who's a freshman, played some last year, but it was such a where he was at, it was, you can't even count the year, you know what I mean? And then he missed time with COVID, and he's just getting back in the swing of things. But the one thing you got to love about him, sometimes, I'll be honest, he has no idea what we're doing, okay? But he plays so hard that he makes up for it a lot. And I can live with that because he's only going to get better in terms of knowing what we're doing. You know what I mean? And we're built on playing hard, playing with great energy, staying positive in tough times, and he is that to a T, to a T. So now there's nothing in his way in terms of his development as a player other than his work ethic in terms of getting better in terms of his skill stuff. You know what I mean? So for him to go out there and compete at the level he did was not a surprise to me at all. To be able to do it extended minutes with the fact that he's missed time was a little bit of a surprise. He dug down. He came up to me with about 6 minutes to go in a half and said, "Coach, I need a rest." I said, "You ain't getting one." I said, "I can't put in Coach Dixon." You know what I mean? So, and we did. We got him a 2-minute rest, and we went zone, and it helped out a little bit. But his toughness showed tonight. There's no question.
Coach, as you mentioned, like he was the embodiment of positive energy. There was a moment where he got an offensive rebound that turned into a three, and he was more hyped up than anybody else going down the court. And I've asked the guys about this earlier. Could you tell us how you think they kept their emotions in check after building an early lead? The crowd is on their side. Going even after halftime, they kept up the same intensity.
Yeah, you know, obviously, is it a sign of some growth? I hope so. You know what I mean? To be able to be in that position and not lose their minds, you know, and get out of sorts and try to either do too much or try to, you know, or not stay aggressive. I thought we were just as aggressive in the second half in terms of, you know, attacking their pressure and getting the ball out on the break. But I'm going to be honest, we need more of what Byron Matos does from everybody. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. It's easy to do it when it's a kick-out three. We need it too when we got to get a crucial defensive stop or if we haven't scored 3 times in a row and now we make a play. You know what I mean? And that's, again, a little bit of us coming together, a little bit of guys growing up and maturing. But I think we took a big step in that tonight.
For you guys, especially in you know last couple games, go back to the Houston game, you guys are only down 3 to have some games that you had leads in at halftime. Just how important would you tell the guys about finishing in the final 20 and playing full court?
You know, at halftime we talked about, you know, again, believing in what we're doing, staying really disciplined in our defense. And then I told him I thought the rebounding was going to be a big key because I kind of felt in the last 4 minutes of the first half that they let the floodgates open. We're sending everybody to the glass. We're going to challenge, even if you got the rebound, and then challenge the outlet. So I said, we got to play our D, we got to secure the rebound, and then we got to be safe and solid on our outlet passes, and then go and break. You know, again, kind of not out of sorts, trying to go too fast. And so winning that first round, the first 4 minutes of the second half was big. That was critical for us. And then just, you know, we made some big shots. You know, again, we had 17 assists tonight, 26 baskets, so we shared the ball. You know, so I thought just kind of Murphy and Javon did a great job of kind of orchestrating everything on the offensive possessions. We tightened up our play action a little bit in this game because we knew of the pressure that we needed to get in stuff quickly and then just kind of make good plays out of that. You know, I thought a critical piece was when Sam went in for us, he gave us another playmaker. He gave us another guy that could handle the ball and attack the basket and make some plays, and he did a great job, you know, cutting out and rebounding as well. You know, for us to, I think C.J. Walker's as good an offensive rebounder as there is in the country, and we did a great job on him. We did a great job on him.
Hey, Coach, Corey Walker's getting harder for you to take out of the game, I think. He's a lot of intangibles.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about him?
Yeah, you know, I talked to him before the game. You know, he had a difficult situation with a family member who died last week. So yesterday, right after practice, he left with his dad and went to the wake and funeral and then came back. And I could tell he was still a little down in the dumps, and I just said, hey, most important thing, I don't care how you play tonight, but I want everybody leaving this place saying that Corey Walker's starting to really learn how to play hard. You know what I mean? Because he's talented, and sometimes he's so gifted it doesn't look like he's playing hard because he's got a different pace about him, all right? But I saw him before the game when I was doing the board. He came into the locker room. He was in a full sweat, drenched after his shooting. And I said, that's a pretty good sign. I'd never seen him sweat like that before in 4 months, you know. And he was dialed in. And he knows how to play the game. He's got a good feel for the game. Anytime you can use your four-man to help break pressure, now you got your guards down the court. And he was tremendous in that, in particular in the first half. But he's got a knack to rebound the ball. He's got a bright future if he continues to work, there's no doubt, because again, I always say he does some stuff that I can't teach. We can't teach some of the stuff that he has a feel for, you know? And so if he's willing to work on the stuff we can't teach, he could have a great career here.
Coach,
Go ahead.
I was like, Coach, it's your first win since Christmas Eve, first win at home in a month. Going into Houston on the road on Wednesday, are there any takeaways from this game in particular that you'd like to see replicated besides just the fact that it's the general performance?
Well, we've only played one game at home since Christmas Eve. So, and that was against the top 10 team in the country. So you make it seem like it, but I get your point. I get your point. What we need to do is get some rest tonight and come in tomorrow and tighten up our game plan for Houston. Obviously, what did they do? They hurt us inside. They didn't hurt us as much on the glass, but because they shot such a high percentage, there wasn't as many offensive rebounds. I thought we played very well in the first half, and there was a 6-minute stretch there in the second half that we let it slip away. You know, you can't do that against a team like that. You know, you just can't do that. They're too good. So the formula for us is always we got to play great half-court team defense. We can't give up any transition baskets. We got to make teams earn their points, and then you can't give up any second chance points. That's easier said than done when you're playing Houston, obviously. All right, and then offensively, again, you know, we went 8 of 24 from the three, not you know, over the world in terms of shooting, but for us, that's about 10 percentage points more than we normally make. You know what I mean? You got to make some shots against them too, and so when the shots show, we just need our guys to stay aggressive in terms of shooting them. All good?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.